I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't.
Audiences were treated to not one, not two, but 3 different film versions of Pinocchio in 2022. A Russian version with a notorious English dub featuring the voices of Pauly Shore and Napoleon Dynamite, a derivative live-action remake of the Disney cartoon that exists purely so the Mouse House can retain the copyright of its old animated classic, and a dark, stop-motion masterpiece directed by Guillermo del Toro and Mark Gustafson for Netflix. The latter is by far the best one of the bunch, and maybe the best version of the story to date. It's a heartbreaking meditation on the frustrations of fatherhood, the terror of fascism, and the cycle of life and death.
Animation has become, in the minds of the consumers, a genre. But it also is an art form, and of all the art forms of animation, to me the most sacred and magical is stop motion, because it's the bond between an animator and a puppet.
The animation in this movie is incredible. The characters are so lifelike and the body language is so authentic. After a while you'll forget you're watching stop-motion figures. This story has been told over and over again for more than 100 years, but Del Toro and co managed to put a fresh spin on the story with a whole new opening that completely recontextualizes the plot. The Disney version and even the original novel begin with Geppetto carving Pinocchio out of a magic slab of wood. But the Del Toro version begins years earlier, with Geppetto as a single father raising a son named Carlo. When some warplanes flying overhead drop their bombs simply to lighten their load, Carlo is killed and Geppetto is sent into a deep depression and spirals into alcoholism. One night, in a drunken stupor, he cuts down Jiminy Cricket's tree, carves a puppet out of it, and wishes for him to be a real boy before passing out at the bottom of the stairs. Making Geppetto a grieving father added a tragic underpinning that was missing from previous versions of the story.
It's a movie with a huge heart. It deals with sense of self, family, and not having to change to be accepted.
The story of Pinocchio is right up Del Toro's alley. Del Toro loves a monster movie that makes you feel for the monster. Hellboy is an outsider who wants to fit in. The Amazonian fishman in The Shape of Water just wants to be loved. The Judas breed in Mimic is a classic example of a Frankenstein monster. It didn't ask to be made. The people at fault for the destruction it causes are the geneticists who played God. Pinocchio is the ultimate sympathetic monster. He's a wooden puppet brought to life by inexplicable witchcraft. He just wants to be a real boy, but he'll never be seen as one.
Little wooden boy made of pine, we shall call you Pinocchio. May you rise with the sun and wander the earth.
Pinocchio is a quintessential Del Toro film. It's another fantastical story set against the backdrop of fascism. The Devil's Backbone is a ghost story set during the Spanish Civil War. Pan's Labyrinth uses an Alice in Wonderland style fairy tale to escape from the horrors of Francoist Spain. And Del Toro's version of Pinocchio is set in Mussolini-ruled Italy. When the Podesta, a fascist government official taking the place of the coachman from the original story, discovers Pinocchio's immortality, he sends him to boot camp to be trained as the perfect child soldier. If Del Toro did a version of Sleeping Beauty, she'd probably get sold into sex slavery. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.